Hello and welcome back everybody. It's the Fake Sports League and we are on to the semifinals. There were 12 teams to start the season, but today only 4 teams remain. Let's hear for your all-world #1 team in the FSL, the winners of the regular season. It is the FSL Comets at home to take on the Dragons. The Dragons, one of the most storied franchises in the FSL. They have built themselves a defensive powerhouse between the leadership of Tobias Fonseca and the fire of rookie Dwayne Wells. But who would have expected to be in this situation today? The Comets are your #1 seed in the postseason. The Comets have been statistically one of the worst franchises in the FSL. But all of that changed with the Season 4 draft. Make sure you check out the draft video if you haven't already, but it was Max Adams, selected #2 overall. He has been electric, maybe one of the best players the FSL has ever seen. He is the Offensive Rookie of the Year, he's the Offensive Player of the Year, but not only that, he is the MVP, the most valuable player in all of the FSL. And for good reason. Max Adams has been incredible this season. I hate to open old wounds, but I have to mention it. Max Adams is what everyone thought Jaden Little could have been in the Season 3 draft. A very similar story again. Comets very early on in the draft because they've historically finished very low at the end of the season. This time they had the #1 overall pick. I think most of us were expecting the very talented Tobias Fonseca to go #1 overall. They elected to go to Jaden Little. Jaden Little was supposed to be the next all-star, the face of the franchise. But as the seasons went on, he has completely been buried in the depth chart. He will not be making an appearance in this game. But whatever happened to that surefire defensive player that the Comets passed on? Well, he got picked up by the Dragons. Tobias Fonseca has some chance to make his presence known against this very talented Comets roster. But just imagine had the Comets drafted Tobias Fonseca and then ended up with Max Adams on top of it. That would have been an insane combo. But I guess all things do work for good. If they had drafted Tobias Fonseca, maybe some would argue they would never even had a chance at Max Adams by the time the Season 4 draft rolled along. When we talk strategy today, you have to think the Comets are going to try to get the ball early and often to their superstar Max Adams. And on the reverse, the word of the day is contain, contain, contain. The Dragons will have to use their talented defenders, Dwayne Wells and Tobias Fonseca, on the contain, try to get the ball out of Max Adams' hands and make sure that those Comets 2 and 3 guys get some play. On the offensive side, the Dragons have first-team All-Pro Francesco Sage to control the center, but Alonzo Brill went off last playoff match, and he's the reason they're there today. Being from different conferences, these teams have not yet faced each other in Season 4, so we have no idea what we might be in for today. That being said, it's time to introduce to you your semi-finalist teams. Starting with the home team, it's the MVP himself, Max Adams, Sammy Swanson, Manuel Cook, Elva Noriga, Jason Green, and Irvin Harris. And for the Dragons, up to the challenge, it's Francesco Sage, Christopher Shaw, Alonzo Brill, Dwayne Wells, Tobias Fonseca, and Adrian Brown. 1 minute on the clock for playoff regulation, starting now. And we start things quietly, Comets with the possession, but Dwayne Wells takes it away from Max Adams. The Dragons' defense first to step up and make their presence known, Christopher Shaw to finish for the Dragons to get the first point on the board. A quick back and forth, Sammy Swanson, Francesco Sage, but make it Max Adams who ties it up now. And a good bit of play happening on the top side of the screen. Green with his first turnover, the Dragons doing a good job of containing MVP Max Adams. But 2 points now, right as I say it, Max Adams on the board yet again. Comets holding tight to the game plan as we have 30 seconds left in this one, keeping that ball and Max Adams right across the middle, risking it even if Dwayne Wells manages to get a turnover instead. But just as I say that, they go topside back-to-back Sammy Swanson, and the Comets with the lead as the clock takes down. 3 points for Francesco Sage. The Dragons with a balanced approach on offense, but it's not enough so far. They need more firepower. Max Adams starting to break contain the Comets 8-7 now. The Dragons with a chance to tie and send this game into overtime. It is picked off, intercepted by Elva Noriga. With the game on the line, they go to the all-star Francesco Sage lining up his 5th point of the day, but it is denied by Elva Noriga, and the Comets cruise into the finals. What a showing from both of these teams, and the straw that broke the camel's back is going to be Tobias Fonseca, unable to handle Sammy Swanson today, 4-0. That is your mismatch of the game, making Sammy Swanson, your top scorer of the game. 3 points for Max Adams today as Dwayne does his best to hold him down. It could be some split attention from Tobias Fonseca trying to help out Dwayne Wells, the rookie, in handling that contain on Max Adams, but it just allowed too much room on the top side for Sammy Swanson to get some easy goals, and every goal counted as the Comets squeak by with a 1-point victory. 7 points should be enough on offense, but just too much firepower from this Comets offense. An 8-point performance from the Comets, and your 1 seed is into the finals. Last home game of the year as the championship game will be played on a neutral site. Just another fantastic season from the Dragons. Those might be the 2 best teams in the FSL, but unfortunately for the Dragons, their season ends here. Tomorrow, we have the Tide taking on the Red Pandas at home. I'm sure the Comets fans will be watching that game intensely to see who their opposition will be in the FSL Championship game. What a ride this has been, and we go from 12 teams down to 3. I can't express how exciting that game was. I know it always hurts to be eliminated from the playoffs, but you gotta show some support for this Dragons team. They have been electric all season, and they definitely deserved and earned their spot in this top 4. That's all for me in the booth. Thanks for coming out, and we hope to see you all on the next one. This has been an official broadcast of the FSL.